Hello and welcome to my channel to plan for. In my last video I let go of my notebooks for 2025, and today I want to talk about my lineup for 2026. If you watched my previous video, you saw that I went through a quite big stack of notebooks in the previous year, and that made me change my journal setup a little bit. I still think I will go through a big stack of notebooks, but maybe I will be able to keep more memories long term. So what am I planning to do? I have been bullet journaling, or kind of bullet journaling if you're not really strict with the definition of it, for a very long time. But it has not only been bullet journaling, but I have done morning pages, brain dump, whatever went through my mind in the same notebook. So everything was mixed together, which worked perfectly fine for me, but also meant that if I ever tried to find something, it was just lost between pages and pages of other stuff with no relevance. So that's why I decided to compartmentalize my journaling a little bit more this year. So I got a Hobonichi Weeks. That's a mega for the first time. Well, not the mega for the first time, but a Hobonichi Weeks in general for the first time. And this will be my planner, bullet journal, something like that. I made a video a couple weeks ago with the complete setup of this one. So if you care to have a little bit more in-depth explanation, go check that out. But basically, I have the blank pages here in the back for bullet journaling, my own setups, and in front here I can have basically already prepared a monthly overview and weekly overviews. As you saw, I already started this one in December. So that would be one notebook. Then my other notebooks are in here. So I want one notebook for writing, brain dump, morning pages. And well, that's a Lockbee dot grid insert, and something like this usually lasts me about a month. So that's a good estimation for one of those notebooks, but that's something I am not planning to keep. So I just want to pour out whatever is on my mind on the paper, write about it, and yeah, not with the intention of keeping it. If I want to keep some kind of memories, I am planning to put them in here. So this is my brain dump, morning paging, write whatever journal. That's the one that keeps me sane. Then this one is the Traveler's Notebook Weekly and Memo. I think that's what it calls, and is called, and that's what I want to use for memory keeping, because I think just this little paragraph here, I can do this every single day. And then I have on the other side a page where I can write a little bit more if I feel like it, draw, put ephemera, things like that. So with this insert, the year is split into two little notebooks, and that's my new attempt I'm making for this year. So in the end, I'm planning to keep at least my TN weekly and memo inserts. So I have 2 little booklets for memory keeping. Then I also have here an insert that's a sketch, I think. Yeah, it's not watercolor. Yeah, 6 sketch. So I have my writing, something for drawing and memory keeping. And then, oops, here, my Hobonichi Weeks. And if I really want to, I can fit everything in here. And that would be my daily setup, everyday journaling setup. Because what I have to say is, here I only have what I plan to use at least a couple times a month. If you saw a couple of videos ago, I visited the Louis Carmen store in Paris and got a travel journal, well, a journal cover there for travel journaling. I have not included this in here because, well, I have a 3 weeks vacation planned next year, and I will, during these 3 weeks, I will use this journal every single day, but not the other 49 weeks of the year. So I have not included in my regular journal lineup. So here I only have the stuff I plan to use on a regular base. So Hobonichi Weeks, bullet journal kind of thingy. Writing, brain dump, morning pages, that's something I do. Well, this year I have done it every single day. I mean, there have been times where I didn't really feel every day like writing, but yeah, it's something I do more or less every day. Then sketch insert might change for watercolor or whatever. I mean, I will go through a couple of these inserts next year. So this is a sketch, then next might be a watercolor, whatever. And memory keeping. So that would be the start. Then this will be my reading journal. Currently I'm still in this one. It's also a B5, and I think I will use this one probably the first 2 months of 2026, and then it will be completed or full, and then I will move on to this one. So reading journal, and that's also something usually I pick up once, twice a week. Depends on what I'm reading, but there are not many weeks where I don't pick up my reading journal. Then daily writing practice, drawing, whatever. And then I also have this Lockbee folio in B5, and there I have all my work stuff. If you're also interested in how I use my journal, bullet journal for work, I made another video with the setup for my work journal, bullet journal kind of work journal, let's call it like that, journal for 2026. Or I started a new journal actually in November, but because the old one was just full and I needed a new one, and yeah, it's my work bullet journals. If I don't change company or project, whatever, I mean, there's no reason to have there a clear cut just because it's a new calendar year. So I think I currently have only one insert in here. The other one is still on my desk, but yeah, I usually have in here 2 inserts, but that's all work related. And I must put this in here a little better. So that is my journal lineup for 2026. So work, reading, everyday journaling, art practice, memory keeping, bullet journaling. Yeah. What I have not included in this stack is things I don't plan to use on a regular basis. For example, I have this notebook with recipes, and this notebook is about at least 15 years old, and I add here maybe 2, 3, 4 recipes each year. I don't include this in my daily or in my regular journal lineup because I don't use it often enough for that. And I also have not included my travel journal. As I said, I will only use this during vacation, and as I am not on vacation all the time, or not multiple times each month would be nice, but that's not the case. I've also not included in here. So this is the lineup of my everyday journals. Let's say it like that. Not that it means that I use all of them every single day, but at least a couple times a month. And if I use some other notebooks, not that frequently, I just don't include them in here. Or I have more notebooks for study notes, things like that, but I study a subject and I use this notebook maybe every single day, and then it's done, then I don't pick it up anymore maybe. So yeah, if the only purpose would be to make a gigantic book stack and show, okay, I'm using, I don't know, 20 notebooks at the same time. Well, I don't use that many at the same time, even including all the other notebooks I only use a couple times a year. But I just didn't want to give a wrong impression with this gigantic book stack, and then I can't, or I don't use the things on a regular basis. Because what is for me very important in my journal lineup, that it is realistic. So when I came up with my lineup, I asked myself, how much time can I spend every single day journaling? And so, well, 10 minutes I can do every single day. I mean, I don't think that I'm ever so busy that I don't have 10 minutes. And so I said, okay, that's definitely more than enough time to do this little paragraph here for memory keeping. And that's the only thing I want to do every single day. For my writing brain dump journal, I mean, that's something I need. I don't know if that's the right word, but if I feel like writing about something, and if it's only a few minutes, it's fine. If it's more, but if I skip a couple of days in this one, I don't care. I mean, then there was nothing that was on my mind so urgently that I had to get it on paper. Drawing, art, well, this whole journaling thing is a hobby, but if I don't have time to draw or do some other artsy stuff, then, well, that's it. I mean, that's life and doesn't really matter. And also with my Hobonichi Weeks, basically that's something I only need to pick up once a week when I plan my week ahead. And then the other days of the week, it would be more of a reference. Do I have anything on my agenda which I need to do at a specific day or time, or this week? There's not much, if I don't want to, there is not much time I have to invest in writing in something in here. And that was kind of the mental guideline I had when I came up with my lineup. What do I want here, and what can I really manage a whole year? Because sometimes, I mean, I don't know how much time other people invest in journaling, but I mean, I work full time, I always study something, and I have, besides journaling, fountain pens, inks, quite a few other hobbies. Definitely music, reading, writing. Well, not journal writing, but like story writing. And so I can't, or I don't want to spend my complete spare time in my journals, because there are just other things I want to do as well. And that was the constraints for me I had to consider when I said, okay, what notebooks do I want to use next year? And how do I want to set them up? Really considering what sounds realistic for a whole year, every single day, considering that life just happens, busy times at work, family obligations, having a household, all those things that are just part of adult life. And yeah, so that's what I came up with. I like it very much. And I guess at the end of 2026, I will see if that was a good idea or not, and if I want to go back to my one book for everything system, or if that makes sense for me to compartmentalize it a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, that is my lineup for 2026, and maybe you have already decided on your lineup, and I'm always happy to hear what other people do and get inspired, and yeah, maybe improve my own setup as well. Thank you very much, and I hope you stop by again. Have a good day. Bye.